welcome back and Happy New Year, Kings and Ducks fans. How's it going, Cody?
I'm doing good. It's nice to be back from our little break.
Yeah, that's true. And just a belated Merry Kingsmas and a Merry Quackmas to you guys all, too.
I believe it was a royal quackmas.
Well, I know, but Kingsmas, more Christmas sounding, but Royal, that's
All right, how about this? Have a royal Christmas and a quacky New Year.
I like that too. That's good, Cody. Good.
Thank you.
So
Just literally just thought of it.
I have missed being part of the podcast, but I got to say, life was crazy during the holidays.
Yeah, it's always busy during the holidays. I mean, we got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, we got New Year. I got my wife's birthday, our anniversary, all in one week, pretty much, other than Thanksgiving.
True. Yeah. Yeah, and then the flu has hit around the family quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's good to be in 2025. Hopefully, it's going to be more um, prosperous and stuff for not just the Kings and the Ducks, but to all you fans too. So,
Yeah.
and we do have quite a bit of news.
And a lot of games to talk about.
True. So you want to just jump in?
Yep. You can go first.
So am I going to do Kings news first?
Unless you want to do the Ducks news.
Well, when just before I start, that's about the time you struggled by yourself, right? Because you was going into the news about the teams, right?
No. Well, I did. Well, we already did a podcast in between that.
Yeah, I know, but that's where you struggled.
Well, I mean, I didn't watch any of the Kings games. I didn't really know, for me, I like watching the games. I like doing a lot of stuff by the eye test. That's how I am. I didn't watch any Kings games that week. So, I felt like we would be doing our listeners a disservice, by not giving them the right,
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. And you missed the old man, huh?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Okay. Well, let's go. We'll go into Kings news. Some of this is a little bit older news because we're trying to hit everything from last
Right before
podcast,
Christmas.
until now. Arthur Kaliev got recalled from Ontario and has yet to play. And I saw. I mean, this is Saturday, January 4th. We're podcasting in between the two World Junior games. We might miss a little part of the second part of it. Anyways, I don't know where I was going. Oh yeah, well, about Kaliev. Yeah, well, he still hasn't played, and wasn't penciled in according to Mayor's Manor to play tonight. So, some other good news is Trevor Moore and Lewis are back from the IR. If you didn't know, they were both on the IR. So they're back and they're both penciled in to play. I think on the fourth line with Hellenius. Other news is, let's talk about a little bit about the World Juniors. We could probably go into more of it next week. I'm going to just talk about players. Carter George, killing it for Canada. Okay.
He was, I would say, number one goalie of the tournament. The only other one I would say would be the Latvian, was it Latvia's goalie, Heldberg?
He was good.
Yeah. Yeah. But Carter George, I think he's been the best goalie in the tournament.
Well, he started off with 2 shutouts.
Yeah.
Okay. And even though Canada, spoiler alert, is not gonna it didn't make it to the semis.
It's not really a spoiler.
Well, not everybody will watch it. I mean, to me, it's one of the most fun parts about the end of right after Christmas is the World Juniors.
Yeah.
I love watching it. So, and basically, he was not the reason Canada didn't move on. He killed it. I mean, he looks like possibly the number one goalie of the future for the Kings.
Yeah.
Not to be totally outdone, but Hampton Slukinski
Say it
is
5 times fast. Go.
no is 2-0 for Team USA.
Well, Trey Augustine has not looked good, and he was supposed to be the best goal. He was supposed to be the
Yeah,
number one goalie in the whole
I'm
tournament.
wondering who's playing tonight. His save percentage 933. He led USA in to win in the quarterfinals against Switzerland. So it could be, and you look at it. I mean, both Kings prospect goalies have made a difference in the World Juniors. To talk about the one player that wasn't a goalie, which is God, it's just weird to talk about two Kings goalies being in the World Juniors. But
Yeah.
Jacob Dvorak for Czechia, he had one goal and was a +4. And he was a +6 till they played the USA. Or no, they're playing the USA today, aren't they?
Which team?
I'm sorry, he's on Czechia.
Czechia, yeah.
Yeah, so he it's probably going to get worse. Go USA. Andres Lee's been loaned to Ontario to make room for Trevor Moore on the roster. And then
Such a shame because, I mean, the guy scores his first career goal.
Did you see that goal?
It was a nice goal. It was not only his first career goal. It was the first professional hockey goal of the new year for the NHL.
Well, it was the only game on that day.
Exactly, but he scored. He scored the first goal of in the NHL for 2025,
and not bad for a 7th round pick.
Yeah,
I gotta say one thing: the Kings are outstanding with later round picks. They really are. Kyle Burrows was put on non-roster due to a birth of a child to also make room for Trevor Lewis. So we're praying for a healthy baby for you, Kyle. Wish you and your wife the best of luck. I know you'll be back soon. It might be the first game today the Kings will play, not the 11-7. Although I'm wondering
have they been
why.
playing 11-7 this whole time?
They have, and the record is incredible, Cody. Just incredible. I mean, they're one of the hottest teams in hockey right now.
Well, see, this is exactly why I didn't want to talk about the Kings, because I didn't know they were running 11-7 this whole time, pretty much.
Well, I think you made the right decision.
Yeah.
Even though, sorry fans that if we let you down and you were looking forward, we're not going to try to have a whole lot of these breaks like this. I mean, during the off season, we might take some, but during the season, it's just been unusual. But time is crazy and commitments. And one thing I think Cody would agree, family comes first.
Mm-hmm.
And I missed because my wife wanted my support. We had my company party that night. We were going straight from her 5K to her parents' house to clean up and go, and we had a great time at that. But honestly, guys, if I'm not talking on this podcast, I do incredibly miss it. I do. So, I hope you enjoyed as much as I do, because I know it's a highlight for me every week.
Yeah.
To be able to be in front of you guys and talk to you guys. And I can't believe how comfortable I am, because if y'all remember the first episode, man, I'm sure you could hear how nervous I was to be broadcast like this. I mean,
it was definitely weird hearing like our own voices, and
I'm finally getting used to that. It was like, I still can't listen to I don't like listening to myself talk. Yet I do it every day. So,
yeah.
Well, let's move on to Duck news.
Yep. All right. Speaking of the World Juniors, the Ducks had 4 players part of the World Juniors. Wojtek Port, he's part of Czechia. So far in 5 games, he has 4 points, for 4 assists. And then Daros Jolanskis, I believe that's how you say his name. Um, he's part of the Latvian team. He played 5 games. He had 1 point for 1 assist. And I know both these guys both are about to play in the next hour. Kerry Terrence, so far in 5 games, he has 2 points and for 2 goals. And then Austin Bernovic for Team USA, he has 5 games played, but 0 points. But I believe he was like a +4 or something like that. I believe I can't. I know one of them had a good plus rating, but plus and minus in World Juniors isn't everything, I would say. But I'm gonna. I watched one bad highlight from the Canadian Canada versus Czechia game, and Carter George. One of the goals that Carter George gave up was a complete own goal from a top defensive prospect in the Sharks system. Sam Dickinson tried to grab the puck, and literally it went right off his hand and right into the goal.
Yeah,
Like it.
poor Carter George. Just Canada didn't support him.
Oh, yeah, but honestly, Canada's not blaming Carter George for it. I think everything's towards like the general manager who helped make this team, and then the head coach. Because and I heard it from Jeff Merrick. I believe it was his podcast from Friday when he
Oh
was
yeah.
talking with Brian Burke. They're saying because like Canada tried to make like grit players and stuff like that, like trying to make like a regular like a regular team, with like third and fourth liners, and it obviously didn't work because they even tried to do that last year and that didn't work. Because think about who like Beckett Seneca didn't make it, Zane Perek didn't make it. There was other like top Michael Misa, a guy that could be drafted this year in the top 4. He didn't make it, and they're saying this actually kind of makes sense. You can't teach grit players skill, but you can, or skill players can play gritty, but gritty players can't play skilled. And I was like, I mean, because think about like back at like with all these like the 4 nations that were coming up. Do you think they're gonna have guys that play third or fourth line playing third or fourth line? No, they're gonna have top players. They know how to play checking. They're professionals. They know how to do this. So
Well, you've got some really great players that are 200-foot players. I mean,
yeah.
you talk about gritty. You got the Kachuk brothers on Team
Mm-hmm.
USA. I mean, ask Drew Doughty how much he loves Matthew Kachuk.
Oh yeah. Uh, uh, uh,
He can't stand him.
someone
I
that
mean,
I
I
believe
think there's
Merrick.
a mutual respect there, but
Yeah.
they really grind on each other, and that's so there are talent because those guys are both very talented players.
Yeah, because they were saying, I think Merrick was saying like Jonathan Taves when he was playing for Team Canada, normally at what a number 1 center, in the league, he was playing third or fourth line and just dominating. That's why Canada was so good all those years because they had a number 1 center playing 3 or 4, and he knew how to play a checking line. He knew how to play a shutdown line.
Yeah,
All right, let's get
let's
back
move
to
on.
move on. Um, Good news, Ducks fans. Trevor Zegras made his return to the ice at Honda Center. I put this morning, but it was a few days ago, marking 3 weeks into his projected 6-week recovery timeline. So he's already on the ice skating. I'm not, like I said, I'm not expecting him to see him in the next week or so. I would say it's still going to be around the 6-week mark, I believe. It could probably be 5 to 6. I'm not expecting him next week though. Because he still has to get in conditioning shape and everything like that. So, if I had to guess, maybe end of January, towards the end of January, like last week, if I had to guess. If I'm the Ducks, that's what I would shoot for.
Yeah,
I gotta look up when the 4 Nations is, because maybe even push it. back till then.
That's in February. I know that.
Yeah, I know, but like how early in
There's no
February?
All-Star game, so it's typically when the All-Star game would be played.
Yeah, I still don't know the exact. I could look it up later. Next bit of news. I know it's not Ducks news, but I mean he was a Duck for most of it for majority of his career. Cam Fowler became the first player in NHL history to skate in his 1,000th game outdoors. And not only did he was the first player to do that, he got the first goal of the game, and he got 2 goals that game. So, and he was the MVP of the outdoor game. He got the Cocoa Cup, I believe is what they call it.
Coco
So,
Cup.
congrats to Cam Fowler on that. I'm glad he's doing good over there. Next bit of news: Brian Dumoulin has some teams interested in him. You got Edmonton, Dallas, Ottawa, and Winnipeg are the teams that could be potentially interested in Brian Dumoulin around the trade deadline, and that's per the 4th period. Next news: Beckett Seneca is the OHL Player of the Month for December of 24. He had 22 points, 9 goals, and 13 assists in just 8 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he didn't get picked for Canada.
And he didn't get, it's funny because, and it's funny, they were saying that
Well, they
Canada
did.
needed scoring. Beckett Seneca right there.
Well, he was there, but he got dropped right at the start.
He didn't even get invited to the preliminary tryouts. He got asked later and then got cut like pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
But and then Nikita Nestorenko got recalled by the Ducks. I believe it's just for the opening. I think it's because of the Brock McGinn injury. So that they called him up just in case. And then here's some interesting news: the Ducks are 15-0-1 when scoring 3 or more goals in a game this season.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
That's
incredible.
right.
So, before we go to league news, you talked about Trevor Zegras. Drew Doughty is skating also, people. Drew Doughty is. The
I saw
scary
that.
thing is they're playing so great without him. But he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt about Hall of Fame with Drew Doughty. What are the Ducks gonna do? Or the Kings gonna do? Ducks gonna do?
I was like, wait, Dowdy's on the Ducks now? Okay.
No, yeah, they're gonna draft him or trade for him. I guess I don't know. Anyways, that's just other Kings news. I totally blanked on saying anything about it because it's a little bit older news. So we want to go to the league news now, Cody?
Yep.
You want to start? You want me to?
You can go first.
Okay. Matt. Mike Tyson Rempe gets an 8-game suspension for elbowing and boarding. I mean, or should I say it's an MMA fight? It sounds more like an MMA fight.
Maybe he should have fought Jake Paul. Maybe it would have been a better fight.
Yeah, he probably would have crushed him. I don't know. He's a big guy. But for boarding Dallas Stars defenseman Miro Heiskanen. Oh, crazy stuff.
Yeah, that was it's crazy. I think he's only played 22 games, but he's had like 15 games in suspensions total in his career. All right, and I think probably the biggest news since since we last had the podcast, the Red Wings have dismissed head coach Derek Lalonde and assistant coach Bob Bonner. I don't want to say that. Oops.
That is
I was sounding it out, and that just came out so wrong. It's speedometer all over again. Oh, mom's
Oh,
gonna crack up at this point when she
okay.
listens.
Uh,
Anyways, the assistant coach, yeah, he got let go too. I'm not gonna try to say his last name again. And they appointed Todd McClellan, ex-Kings coach, as their new head coach, and Trent Yanni as their new assistant coach. Wasn't Trent Yanni also the assistant coach for the Kings?
he was at one time, yes.
Okay,
He might
I
have
think I.
gotten let go along with McClellan by the end of the season.
So there must be like a if I go, he goes with me.
Well, you never know. Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay, Sidney Crosby breaks Mario Lemieux's Penguin assist record. That's saying something, people.
that's
I mean, you're talking the closest probably thing to Gretzky.
yeah,
I mean, and if he'd had a healthy back, who knows? He might have been up there close to Gretzky in scoring.
that's for sure.
I
He
mean,
he was getting points like no other.
well, I think he's the only other one to have over 190 points
Yeah.
in the season. He had 199. He's just 1 point off 200. Gretzky did, I think, 200 two or three times.
Do you think we're ever gonna see someone get to 190 again?
It depends on the rules. The rules could make a difference, and how the game, how the game. If they start taking away more of what defense can do, yes. If not, probably not.
I think right now I can only see 3 players really ever getting there currently.
Yeah, McKinnon, Draisaitl, or McDavid, right?
Draisaitl wasn't my next choice. It was Kucherov.
Yeah. Okay, four players.
Yeah,
I mean,
I could see
Draisaitl.
Draisaitl. Yeah,
Draisaitl's leading the league in goals.
yeah, but we're talking about points.
He gets a lot of assists too.
I know.
I mean, they're up there. They're like second and third in scoring
True.
right now, to be just behind McKinnon. They have been on fire.
Yep. All right. The Avalanche have acquired center Juuso Parssinen and 7th round pick in the 2026 draft from the Predators for Andre Pavel and a 3rd round pick in 2027.
Wow.
I think that was I don't to be honest, I don't know much about either of those players, so I've heard Parssinen before. That name sounds familiar.
It's sometimes it's funny. You have people that you don't think. I mean, just like the Kings had Dwight King, and then God, the other guy, his dad was a coach or general manager, and he was part of just when they brought those guys up. That's when the Kings started playing better in 2012 and won their first Stanley Cup. And I can't think of his name right now. The other guy.
It'll come to you later.
Probably not him. I mean, he was a bit player, but they were instrumental when they got called up to come play for the Kings. That's when the Kings got hot, and they needed to get hot to even make the playoffs that year. So, on to more Avalanche news. They have signed goalie Mackenzie Blackwood to a 5-year extension worth $5.25 AAV, a total of $26.25 million. And I think he got hurt.
Was it him or was it Wedgwood? There's too many
You
Woods
mean,
on Avalanche.
yeah, well, yeah, they're kind of a Woody team, aren't they? I guess they really like Toy Story.
Wow. Okay. Got Wood.
They do.
Yep. They got three players with Wood in their name.
Yeah, what Miles Wood?
Miles Wood, Blackwood, Wedgwood.
Yeah.
And then you got Woodchuck. If a woodchuck would, yeah.
A
All right.
woodchuck.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna try.
Let's not try.
You tried already and failed.
No,
I'll fail miserably.
I'm
So
gonna skip this next one because it kind of goes with one I wrote later on.
okay.
Um, The next one is the Rangers place Igor Shesterkin on injured reserve. Did they? I think you put that on there. Did they say upper body, lower body? Like,
It didn't specify when I put that in there. That was probably 4 or 5 days ago. Um,
okay,
um, Rangers last place. Who'd have thought? Nobody.
oh, yeah, nobody.
Fire sale coming from the trade deadline.
It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, and you want the next one, I know.
All right, well, just do the last one, then we could both talk about the
Oh,
next.
so you want me to do the last one then?
Yeah,
Austin Matthews activated from IR today. So looks like he's going to be back in the lineup. I don't know. Toronto's played great without him. We'll see
yeah.
what that does.
All right, and then this next two kind of go together, but there's drama in Vancouver right now between JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. And there's talks about, trading Miller or Pettersson. And apparently this um debacle has been going on for years now. Even Bruce Boudreau said that it was happening when he was the Vancouver coach.
So I take it they just don't like each other, huh?
Apparently JT Miller's a very old school kind of guy, and Elias Pettersson's a younger school, a new school kind of guy, and they kind of JT Miller's just kind of like gets on him, and JT Miller's just not one of those people that like handles that very well, I would say.
So is this going to be like Twilight, where you had Team Edward or Team Jacob,
Jacob, yeah.
and we have Team JT or Team Elias?
If you if you were the GM, if you were Pat Patrick Alvin, who you trading?
Who would I keep and who would I trade?
Yes.
I have a distinct person I'd pick, and I could see where someone would pick the other person also. But you know what? I think JT Miller is the guy that makes the Vancouver Canucks go, and
Yeah.
he was top 3 or 4 center
Last year.
last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I would take him. I'd trade Pedersen.
I believe the only thing is
He has a no
that
move clause.
no, I think Pedersen has the
No move
movement
clause.
protection and JT Miller doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I do, regardless of that. Just because I think JT Miller is a huge difference maker. And Pedersen's a great player, don't get me wrong. He's young, he's talented. But I think Miller is the you know, he's the spoon that stirs the coffee at Vancouver.
See, for me, I like the way JT Miller is, and this is something that I've been my whole. I would say with me playing sports, JT Miller and I think have some like we hate to lose. And I think Elias Pettersson, he like yes, great player. Definitely when he's on his game, he could be easily a top 5, top 10 player easily. But if in, on the Ducks, I don't think JT Miller is the right player for this team because we all see how the Ducks are with an old school coach and all the drama that we've heard about that. Elias Pettersson, I think, would be a better fit for this team
Are you
than
talking the
JT.
Ducks?
Okay, like for the Ducks, I think Elias Pettersson would be a better fit for this team than JT Miller for what we currently have. But if I was the GM, I would want JT Miller. If I just if I wasn't the Ducks or whatever, I would want JT Miller because he's someone that I would love to see get my team fired up. So, but yeah, but the Connects general manager Patrick Alvin said on the potential trading of star forward Elias Pettersson, saying anything is possible. I mean, if Wayne Gretzky can get traded, yeah, and he's in his first year of the 8-year mega deal that he got last season.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. On to games now.
Let's do it.
All right. I'll go first, and then we'll do every other one.
So why don't we do this? Why don't you do the date of the games?
Oh, by date.
Yeah, because my one. Let's see. I have one on the 22nd. Okay, well, it'll work out if we do
Okay.
it that way.
All right. Look, I got one on the 22nd and 23rd.
I have one on the 22nd, and the next one's not till the 28th.
All right. So you go with, or I'll start then, and then you can do your 22nd.
Okay.
All right. In this game, the Ducks play their first game in Utah at the Delta Center, and this one was a great game. I started this game very frustrated, but a happy ending at the end. That didn't come out right either.
You got to stop it.
I know.
I
I'm
got to tell you
sorry.
something. I've had a rough week. You've made me laugh pretty good twice. Thank you, son.
It's not how I'm meaning to say it.
I
But
know it. And I didn't even take it bad till you started laughing.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to keep my mind clear.
Sorry. I know I got a, as people would say, a dirty mind. I prefer to say it as a sexy imagination. Anyways.
Great description, by the way.
Thank you. The Ducks in the first period, I'm gonna just try to keep it shorter than normal. The Ducks were down 2-1 after the first period. Clayton Keller had the first goal for Utah. Robbie Fabry got his third of the year with assists from Mason McTavish to tie it up. And then Barrett Hayton got his sixth of the year, so that made it 2-1 after the first period. In the second period, you had Logan Cooley and Clayton Keller scoring again to make it 4-1 Utah. And then Isaac Lundestrom gets his fourth of the year with assists from Zellweger and Harkins to make it 4-2. So now it's 4-2 going into the third period. And then in the third period, you had Robbie Fabry scoring his second goal of the game with assists from Cutter Gauthier and Pavel Minchikov to make it 4-3. And then Brett Leeson on the power play at the 15-15 mark got his fourth of the year. Cutter Gauthier got another assist this game and another point for Zellweger this game. I believe, yeah, second assist of the game for Zellweger to tie it up. And then we go into a shootout, and everyone misses, and then Mason McTavish finishes the game on the last shootout attempt. So the Ducks end up winning this game 5-4 over the Utah Hockey Club. So both games so far against Utah have both ended in a Ducks win 5-4. Real quick, the shots on goal, the Ducks had 30 shots on goal to Utah's 25. I'll admit, the Ducks have been better. I'm not saying a lot better, just better in the faceoff percentage. They did lose this one 55-45. The power play, the Ducks were 1 for 6, while Utah was 1 for 5. And let's see, the 3 stars of the game, you had Robbie Fabry with 2 goals for 2 points as the third star, McTavish with the game winner and an assist. So he technically had 2 points. 2 points technically. He was the second star, and then Clayton Keller had 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. So very good start for the Ducks in their first game in Utah. So that is it. The final 5-4 in a shootout. And I believe, who was the goalie this game? It was Lukas Dostal. And so he had, let's see, 21 saves on 21 shots.
Excellent.
So, on to your game.
Okay. So this is back all the way to 1222. And we were in Washington to play the Capitals. And the scoring, I'm going to go the scoring first this time. Protus scored his 13th from Dubois, the name we shall not say, his 19th assist. And McMichael his 13th assist on a snapshot, the 10-20 mark to put Washington up 1-0. And the first period ended with the score Washington 1, Kings 0. In the second period, Kevin Fiala on the power play got his 13th from Kempe, his 16th assist, and Brant Clark his 16th assist to tie it at the 4:10 mark on a snapshot. Then Jacob Vrana scores on the power play, his 6th from the name we shall not say, his 20th assist to put Washington up 2-1 on a snapshot at the 14:18 mark. So now after two periods, it's the Capitals 2, Kings 1. Going into the third period, Protus gets his 14th on an empty netter at the 19:06 mark on a wrist shot. And the final of this game was 3-1 Capitals. Capitals are real deal, guys. You know what? A real deal.
If only someone would have picked them before the season started to be a playoff team.
You can clap yourself on the back for that, but boy, you're predicting Ducks games is horrible. Just throw that out there.
Okay, it doesn't help that the games I think they're going to win, they lose. And the games I think they're going to lose, they win. It does not help.
Well, I've been doing pretty good with the Kings, so I predicted this game to be a 3-2 loss. So 3-1, pretty close. Here's some of the stats of the game. The Kings outshot the Capitals 26-21, but it was 67-33 on the face-offs in favor of the Capitals. Both teams were 1-for-1 on the power play. The hits were 21 for the Capitals, 16 for the Kings, 14 block shots for the Capitals, 13 for the Kings. And the giveaways, the Kings won that one 16-14 and lose the game 3-1. Let's go to the 3 stars, which I'm sure there shouldn't be a king in there, but there isn't. Which the guy who scores 2 goals is the 3rd star. Protus is the 3rd star scoring 2 goals. Logan Thompson, I'd say he's been great for them. Vegas gave him away. I'm surprised he's not their number one. You know, his goals against average was 962% save percentage. The number one was a player who shall not be named with 2 assists. And I'm going to end it at that one.
How many points did he have for you guys last season?
40.
And how many points does he have right now?
I want to say he's probably at 28 or 29. I'm not absolutely sure.
Okay.
I could look that up while you're doing your next game, though.
Okay. Well, the Ducks, this was their second game of the back-to-back. So they played it in Utah the first night, which I already talked about that game. And the next night they play in Vegas. And this ends the season series against Vegas. So good news, Ducks fans. We don't have to see Vegas the rest of the year. Yay! Ducks lose this one to Vegas, of course. 3-1. Tanner Pearson got his 6th of the year on a shorthanded goal to take a 1-0 lead, and then Mason McTavish got his 4th of the season assist from Gudis and Fabry to tie it up early in the third period, and then Thomas Hurdle and Keegan Colasar each get a goal in the third period to make it 3-1 Vegas. Um, yeah. Let's see, what was I going to say? I had something and then just completely lost it. The Ducks were pretty close on shots on goal. It was 33-32 in favor of Vegas, 50-50 in the faceoff percentage. Like I said, the Ducks have been better in the faceoff. Before we were seeing them in the what high 30s, low 40s sometimes in faceoff percentage. So I'll take anything in the fives for sure. um, the Ducks out hit Vegas 18-13. Like I said, we lost every game to Vegas this year. So we lost 3-1, 3-2, 4-1, and 3-1. And I believe Gibson played this game. Oh, this is the one that Gibson got hurt. He got. Honestly, I don't get how this is not a double minor penalty. So was it Tanner Lashinsky? His the blade of his stick got into Gibson's mask, right here, and cut him open. Gibson left the game, so Dolso had to come in after a back to back, and all he got was a interference call. But one, it's a high stick, and two, he drew blood. So wouldn't that be a double minor? Tell me if that makes sense, please. Like, make it make sense for me. So, but good news or spoiler alert for later, Gibson's okay and he's back. So the 3 stars of the game were all Vegas. Aiden Hill was the number 1 star or number 3 star. Colasar was the number 2, and then known duck killer, former shark Thomas Hurdle was the number 1 star in this game. So this was the second game of the back-to-back where the Ducks lost to the Knights 3-1.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, you started off hot with your predictions last time. You're 2-0 right now. That's where it stopped.
Yeah.
Got to pick on you just a little bit, kid. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go to the 28th.
Yeah. We both got games on the 28th
So
and
yeah,
29th.
you'll do your 28th game after mine, and then you'll and I do the 29th, and you have a game on the 20th. We'll go back and forth until I think you'll have to do 2 games in a row. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyways, so Edmonton at the Kings on the 28th. We so happen to be at the pond during this game.
Yep.
And so let's go to the scoring first. Let me just move this real quick here. Just give me a chance. All right, let's go to the scoring. Kasperi Kapanen scored in the first period from Brown, his 9th, and Emberson, his 4th, at the 9:43 mark on a wrist shot to put Edmonton up 1-0. But just a little less than 3 minutes later, Quentin Byfield gets his 7th from Fogle, his 10th, and Brandt Clark, his 17th, on a wrist shot at the 12:32 mark to tie it 1-1. And one thing I got to say is that a lot of people think that, like, it was a straight trade Fogle for Arvidsson. It really wasn't. It was just free agent signings. But I think we won that trade.
Arvidsson for Fogle?
Fogle has been way better than I could imagine. I mean, he plays the whole game. And speaking of it, we're still in the first period. It was tied 1-1. And who scores? But Warren Fogle gets his 10th from Jordan Spence's 9th, and Quentin Byfield his 10th to put the Kings up 2-1 at the 17:35 mark on a wrist shot. So after one period, Kings 2, Oilers 1. Well, we start off the second period, and this Edmonton kind of took over the second period. Ryan Nugent Hopkins gets his 7th on the power play from McDavid, his 35th, and Hyman, his 7th. And that tied the score 2-2 at the 3:20 mark on a wrist shot. Then 8 minutes later, not to be outdone by Warren Fogle, Victor Arvidsson gets his fourth from Colson, his ninth, and Draisaitl his 29th at the 11:59 mark on a wrist shot to put Edmonton up 3-2. And that's how the second period ended. Then in the third period, another pickup, a trade with Tampa Bay. We got Tanner Jeannot. He got his fifth from Jordan Spence, his 10th, and Warren Fogle his 11th to tie the game 3-3 at the 2:32 mark. So we're now going to overtime. And we go to overtime, and we're 3:19 into the overtime period. And who scores? But Quentin Byfield gets his 8th from Philip Deneau, his 15th, and Kempe his 17th to win the game 4-3 Kings on an awesome wrist shot, which is it was from distance. Most of Byfield's goals last year and a lot early this season have been, in front of the net, tipping in, or duking and just making an easy shot in. He's had a couple now, good wrist shots and maybe a snapshot or two that have gone in. And so he's kind of changed up his game. Now let's go to the stats to this game real quick. Kings, 54-46 on the faceoff. They did outshoot Edmonton 29-27. First, who had the best power play over the last 2 years? It was the Edmonton Oilers, and they were at 50%, 1 for 2. The Kings' power play is still weak at 0 for 1. They have not scored enough on the power play. This is where the Kings took over the game in hits, 25-13. Block shots, 15-11. And then they won one that we don't want to win. We gave the giveaways. We gave away 18. They only had 17. And we had takeaways of 8-7. And let's go to the 3 stars of the game for this one. And I'm going to tell you their 3 stars of the game, then I'll give you mine. Tanner Jeannot was the 3rd star, by the writers within a goal. Quentin Byfield was the 2nd star with 2 goals and an assist. And Warren Fogle was the number 1 star with 1 goal, 2 assists. I would switch Byfield and Fogle. 1 game winner. 2 goals, 1 assist. To me, beats 1 goal, 2 assists. So I would give Byfield the key for that one. So, and that's, we beat Edmonton, guys. We proved we can do it. Let's keep going.
I'll believe it when you guys can do it in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, your next game's going to be fun to talk about.
We were there. We were there, so I know you got some stuff to say. This was the ugly duckling game since our last podcast.
And before you say anything else, what I'm going to tell you is it is very disappointing in the way the Ducks played the game. But they got slapped in this game. And look what's the turnabout you'll see. There's been a turnabout that's happened after this game. Something that probably
none of us
lessens the blow a little bit from how mad you were on that Saturday, because I have to admit, they played horrible. Yeah. They looked horrible. They looked like a last place team.
No, you're not. They look, honestly, and I'm even shocked that the Ducks actually outshot Philly in this game. I went back and I was like, after the game, I was like, the Ducks actually outshot Philly? Yeah, I was just like,
it was the other aspects of the game. I mean, you can outshoot someone, but if they're easy saves, that's And the Kings have been guilty of that in years past. With outshooting teams and losing. So go on.
But yeah. So long story short, the Ducks sucked this game, and they looked slow. There was just no urgency. There was no fight. There was just it was just embarrassing to watch. It really was. Um, so there was no scoring in the first period. So in the second period, Noah Cates scores his seventh of the season. Apparently, that was his fifth straight game scoring a goal. So someone that's hot. And then Troy Terry, who seemed before this was the only one that could actually do anything on offense. Troy Terry gets his 10th of the year with assists from Radko Gudis, his 7th, and Jackson Lacombe, his 6th. And then in the third period, Philadelphia scored pretty early on in the third period. Morgan Frost scored his 7th of the year to make it 2-1 Philly. And then Joel Farabee scored an empty netter, his 5th of the year, unassisted. But yeah, like I said, just embarrassed. This game, I was embarrassed, watching even. If I was at home, I probably would have turned off the game. But the only good news is, I mean, we did have fun at the game.
We had fun before the game. We had fun after the game.
Yeah.
We had fun during the game. We had really, actually, I love the seats.
No, the seats were great. Good view of everything. I know me and Christina were making that lady in front of us laugh a lot. What was it like? There was that one song is like, oh, hit the button, turn the TV off, turn the TV off. And I was like, what did I think I said, I was like, oh, hit the button, turn the volume down, turn the volume down. I always like to have my own little funny parodies with certain songs, and at least I would say my highlight of the day was I got the new jersey. Yeah, I'm happy. Um, and I also got my game puck, which I always like getting. Um, and then the other funny thing was that one guy behind us. Like right before like one of the periods was about the end, he was like, "How much time is left?" And then you hear Phil Hewitt say, "1 minute remaining."
Yeah,
That was hilarious. That had me dying. And I've been to many games. I've never heard anyone say that. And I was like, that was good. I was laughing at that.
Well, it reminds me of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I've only ever seen that once, so you're gonna have to help me out on
Well,
this.
so I think Brad and Janet are wet. It's raining. They knock on the door, and the butler guy answers the door, and it creaks open, and it's like a pause, and
Oh, is this like the interaction thing?
it's an interaction thing, and somebody yells, "Say something intelligent," and he goes, "You're wet." And I go, "That's what it kind of reminded me of." And there's a whole bunch of them in there. I mean, if you go to some of them, they're all dressed up. And I mean, I went to one where there was somebody saying something all the time during the movie. And the others, I mean, the one we went to when you went for the first time over there in Murrieta, that had a little bit, but not like.
Well, the one of Mom's coworkers, Sharon, I want to say.
Sharon, okay.
Yeah, her son was pretty funny during the whole thing.
I didn't get to hear him a lot.
He was right next to me, and there was a scene like they're going through a book or something. I know you don't get. I know you know the reference, but you don't fully understand the reference. And the guy was like opening the book and going through pages, like, "Oh yeah, this is where my like he was going through like funny Pokemon, like, yeah, this is where my Bulbasaur is, my Pikachu." It had me laughing because I understood, because I used to collect Pokemon cards back in the day, so yeah, I thought that was funny. But like I said, other than the game, like other than the Ducks just being very disappointing, I had a great time. We went to Golden Road after. The food was great there. The beer was good. And then Noble Ale Works. Oh, that seltzer was good
That
at
was
Noble
good.
Ale Works.
Yeah.
So again, shout out to Late Arrivals for the discount for that.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So
Fellow podcasters, don't
yeah,
forget to listen to them.
yeah.
And
On that.
they're funny people on there.
Oh, and we met Lou at the game, and then I don't know if you guys we were actually on TV. I don't know if you guys could really tell, and I forgot to take a screenshot of it, which pisses me off. But I could probably find it on YouTube somewhere, probably. But during the first intermission, we were right behind Ali Lozoff's head, pretty much right next to Lou. If you know, if you any Ducks fans know who Lou is from Late Arrivals. But yeah, we were right there, right next to him, pretty much. And I was in my jersey right here. My dad was in his 25th anniversary Ducks Timu jersey.
Yes, I can wear Timu's jersey, guys. Probably no other duck. Maybe
Yeah,
a Korea. I like Korea too, but I mean, Timu's one of my favorites. Uh, if you did happen to see it, it was also on Channel 13, or
KCOP,
yeah, KCOP or Victory. Um,
K-pop.
our one time guest, well, actually, it was a guest host twice. Calls
Yeah,
me, says he's
well,
watching us on TV.
twice.
Yeah, he was on twice because the first one was, got cut out a lot.
Yeah,
So, and we'll have him on again.
yeah. So, all right, let's move on. So now you guys play Philadelphia now.
Yes, this is the very next day we played Philadelphia. Let's go to. I was more involved with Cody on this game because we were actually there. So let's go to the scoring. Started off well. Kevin Fiala got his 14th from LaFerriere, his 13th, and Deneau his 16th. At the 5:14 mark on a slap shot to make the Kings up 1-0. But 3 minutes later, Tyson Forrester got his 10th from Cam York, his 6th, and Sanheim his 15th on a wrist shot to tie the score 1-1. Then, still in the first period, Scott Lawton got his 8th from Mitchkoff, his 17th, and Frost his 10th. And Frost wasn't it Frost that was a killer for you guys on Saturday?
He did score one goal. Yes, he scored technically the game winner.
So, and that made Philly up 2-1. And then Adrian Kempe got a 17th from Brant Clark, his 18th, and Turcotte his 10th at the 16:54 mark on a slap shot. So after one period, it's Kings 2, Flyers 2. And we go to the second period, and Matt V. Mitchkoff?
Matvey
Matvey Mitchkoff scored his 12th from Lawton, his 13th, and Ristolainen, his 8th. At the 11:03 mark on a wrist shot to put Philadelphia up 3-2. Then Joel Farabee got his 6th from Hathaway, his 9th, and Poing his 10th at the 13:42 mark to make it 4-2. And right here in the second period at the 15:04 mark, this is why I say we won the trade with Edmonton. I mean, I call it it's like a trade. Fogle got his 11th unassisted to make it 4-3 and give the Kings hope. So, unassisted goal by Fogle, 4-3 after 2 periods. And then in the third period, it was Anze time. Anze Kopitar scores his 11th from Byfield, his 11th, and Moverari, his 2nd, on a deflected shot to tie the score at 4-4. Then on the power play, at the 8:55 mark, Anze Kopitar got his 12th from Kempe, his 18th, on a tip-in to put the Kings up for a final of 5-4. Let's go to the stats real quick. Philly actually outshot the Kings 21-20. 9 goals on 41 shots. I didn't even think about it. Face-offs were even, 50-50. The Kings actually did score a power play goal. They were 1-for-1 because it was the game winner with Kopitar. Hits, the Kings out hit them 24-14, but Philadelphia did that on the block shots 20-12, and they had 11 giveaways. We had 7, and takeaways we each had 5. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. I guess you know who the number 1 star was. Warren Fogle was the number 3 star with a goal. Adrian Kempe was the number 2 star with a goal and an assist. And number 1 was the cap, Anze Kopitar, with 2 goals and no assists. On to you, Cody.
On to me. So now the Ducks play the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, it was a trade.
Yeah, we literally flip-flopped the teams.
Back to all 4 teams back to back.
Mm-hmm. And it was funny because I believe I said on a podcast not that long ago, why don't they do back-to-backs when the teams are home? And then sure enough, both the Ducks and Kings got home back-to-backs. So this really, like I said, and I like how they did this. And I think this was the first time in Ducks history that they had back-to-back home matinee games. So the Ducks play the Edmonton Oilers. Let's just say this game did not start too hot for the Ducks. Leon Draisaitl got his 25th of the season on the power play to make it 1-0 Edmonton. And then Evan Bouchard got his 7th of the year to make it 2-0. And then Cutter Gauthier 2 minutes later got his 5th of the year with assists from Jackson Lacombe to make it 2-1 Edmonton. And then we move into the second period. Leon Draisaitl again on the power play got his 26th goal of the year to make it 3-1 Edmonton. And then all of a sudden, the comeback on Cantella 2.0 is here. Drew Hellison gets the comeback started with his 2nd of the year unassisted to make it 3-2. And then Robbie Fabry scores his 5th of the year with assists from McTavish and Gauthier, and now we're tied 3-3. And then with the game winner, a goal that we didn't even know that happened until after we came back from the commercial break, Ryan Strome got his 6th of the year, got the game winner with assist from Troy Terry. And it was a wraparound. Honestly, I didn't think it went in. It was a wraparound, and Picker just I thought he made just a great save. And I guess while we were on commercial, they reviewed it, and it sure enough, the puck completely crossed the goal line, and you could easily tell it did. It looked like Strome knew, but I was just like, the replays I saw, I was like, no, that didn't go in. Nah. And then they showed the replay. I was like, oh wow, that actually did go in. So the Ryan Strome got his sixth of the year to get the game winner, and then Mason McTavish ices the game on the empty netter, gets his 5th of the year with assists from Robbie Fabry. The Ducks take down the Edmonton Oilers 5-3. Where the hell was this Ducks team when we were there the day before? Where? That's the team I wanted to see.
Somebody had a talking to.
Yeah, no kidding.
It could have been a player. Maybe they had a player-only meeting and said, "Hey, guys, the effort wasn't there.
Yeah.
If it's okay to lose if you play your best, because I mean, if they play better than you, I think the team that plays the best deserves to win. It doesn't always happen, to be honest with you, but that's the way I believe it. So, if you leave it all on the floor, you have nothing to regret. So, anyways,
so the Ducks outshot Edmonton 32-23. They held the Edmonton Oilers to 23 shots. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they've been Edmonton's been hot.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. But the downside to this, the Ducks gave up 2 out of 3 power plays to Edmonton. The Ducks were 0 for 5. So this was all 5-on-5 goals. And I know the Ducks are, I think stat wise, or the goals for percentage, they were the worst team in 5-for-5 in the NHL right now. But that was just good news right there. The face-off percentage, the Ducks won the face-off percentage this game. Yes, you heard that. I think this is either the first or second time all season. I think the Ducks won the face-off percentage. And not only won, they won 60% of the face-offs.
Wow.
Yes. I think I said a couple of games ago, I like seeing the fives. I like seeing the six ones in the 60s more. So, all around, that was a good game. I wish we would have gone to that game instead. But what a great game. Come back on Cantella 2.0 is done.
There you go.
All right, so on to your.
Or do you want to do 3 stars of the game?
Oh, let me
No,
see.
you're gonna go
3 stars.
You'll finish, and because my game
Okay.
date is at the end.
So 3 stars of the game. McTavish, 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points as the third star. Robbie Fabry, 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points as the second star. Then Cutter Gauthier, 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points, and he's the number 1. I like that line. McTavish has been playing a lot better since this line has been together.
Yeah, they needed to change things around. I agree.
Yeah. So, what a great game. And then, so I'm going again, you said?
Yeah, you're gonna finish.
I'm going to finish?
Yeah, well, my next game just happened on the 4th. You have games on the 31st, 2nd, and 3rd.
All right.
So you're going to be busy.
All right.
I get a break. I get a break.
Yeah. All right. So the Ducks play the New Jersey Devils at home on New Year's Eve. So the Ducks typically don't do well against the New Jersey Devils. But for some reason, this game we decided to play differently. Troy Terry got the scoring started halfway through the first period to get his team leading 11th of the year with assists from Ryan Strome and Frank Vetrano to make it 1-0 Anaheim. Robbie Fabry got his 6th of the year with assists from Cutter and Dumoulin to make it 2-0 Anaheim. And then Jonas, before I get this, I never want John Allers or Brian Hayward. I think it was Brian Hayward that said it. I never want him to ever announce during a perfect game in a Major League Baseball game ever. Because he literally jinxed this game. He literally said something what a broadcaster should never say. Oh, blah, 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 whoever is, he's pitching a shot. He stopped every shot so far. Oh, the Ducks haven't given up a goal. They've been playing really well. Why, Hayward? Why? Right? Literally, I want to say 30 seconds after he said that, the Devils scored. Jonas Siegenthaler got his 2nd of the year. And then Timo Meyer, former Shark, got his 14th of the year to tie it up. Now I remember what they said. And they say a 2-goal lead is the worst lead to have in sports. And I was like, you don't need to say anything like that. Hey, good job. Hey, you're pitching a perfect game. You know that, right? Yeah? We got 3 innings to go.
Well, it's funny, and Cody didn't mention it, but Saturday was Brian Hayward's 2000th game.
Well, no, he already did it. They were celebrating it that day.
Yeah, but they celebrated his 2000th goal or game. And he dropped the puck and all that stuff, and so he made a mistake. It happens. It's not the first time. You really believe he made a difference in the way the team played?
Yes. That was it was funny because I was literally when he did it, literally over 10 years ago, my senior in high school, We played a soccer tournament right after Christmas, and I didn't give up a single goal all tournament long. We made the championship, and then I had a Fabian. You remember Fabian? He literally he's like, "Oh, Cody, you haven't given him a goal the whole tournament." We lost 3-1. Two of the goals were own goals, and one of the other goals were the guy had a free kick, and my wall split. The guy hit it right through the wall, and they scored. And I literally wanted to kill Fabian that game. He scored our only goal. I still wanted to murder him. I was so mad at him.
Those are big words.
Yeah, I love Fabian, but that day I wanted to kill him. So as where we left off, we're tied 2-2 late in the third, and Ryan Strome on back-to-back games. I believe he's the first player. I think no, first Ducks player, 14th player to ever do it in NHL to score game-winning goals with less than 5 minutes left in back-to-back games. So Ryan Strome got his 7th of the year, his second game winner in a row, with assists from Lacombe and Vetrano, and the Ducks win this one 3-2 over the New Jersey Devils. 3 stars of the game. Troy Terry, of course. 1 goal, 1 point, 3rd star. Lukas Dostwal, 2nd star. Rightfully so. Ryan Strome, number 1 star. 1 goal, 1 assist. And the 1 goal is the game winning for 2 points. Rightfully so, the number 1 star.
So, Cody, before you go any further, I was looking at the game tonight, and the next game on the date wise was mine, and I will go, and then you do your last two.
Yeah, because didn't you guys play on New Year's Day?
New Year's Day, I forgot. I looked at it, I saw 1-4, but that's today, so
Yeah.
I don't have the last one. So I will go next. Or were you
Okay.
done? Were you done?
Just I'll do this real quick. The Ducks did get outshot this game 34-26. They did lose the faceoff percentage 55-45. 0-for-3 on the power play again. What's up with our power play lately? Oh, I know. Nobody's moving. It's too, just pass. There's no oh god, what did what Locked On Ducks guy he used to call it like when you pass through the penalty kill. I forgot what he had a term for it, and I thought it was a clever term for it. But it was a pass like through. The Ducks never do that. I've only seen like maybe 1 or 2 passes all season like that. So yeah, the Ducks just their power play's just been bad lately too. So, but I'm just happy the Ducks won this game 3-2. So
Awesome.
another game that I predicted that for them to lose, and they win.
Yeah, you were 2-0, and now you're gonna be whatever.
Now I'm 2-2. Aren't I 2-2 now?
You are
2-2 after this, right?
No, you're
2-3.
2-3.
Yeah.
Oh
All
wow.
right.
Okay. Yeah, that was the
the Devils.
The Devils.
All right.
Yeah.
But now you can talk about your New Year's Day game.
Yes. So after the Ducks tired them out, even though it was it was the next day. They had back to back.
Mm-hmm.
So they tired them out. This is let's go to. Let me see. I think the first period was 0. Yes, there was no scoring in the first period. In the second period, on a beautiful play, Andre Lee gets his first ever NHL goal at the 6:23 mark with a wrist shot. Beautiful shot from Spence, his 11th, and Moriarty, his 3rd, to put the Kings up 1-0. And that's how the second period ended. So the Kings were up 1-0 going into the third period. So, third period comes in and somebody's getting hot. Quentin Byfield gets his 9th from Deneau his 17th, and Mikey Anderson his 7th at the 11:01 mark on a wrist shot. Put the Kings up 2-0. Then, they pulled the goalie with little less than 5 minutes to go. Adrian Kempe gets his 18th. I don't know how many. I think he's the king of empty netters. He got his 18th from Fogle, his 12th, and Mikey Anderson his 8th on a wrist shot to make it 3-0. And that's how it got held up, as 3-0 Kings. Shutout of the high-powered New Jersey Devil offense. So let's go to the stats on this one. Kings outshot them. No, they got outshot 33-24. Kings got outshot 33-24. Face-off 63-37. They got beat on that one too. Kings were 0 for 3 on the power play, but even worse, the Devils were 0 for 6. Hits were 23-15 in favor of the Devils. Block shots were 20-14 in favor of the Kings. Giveaways, the one we don't want to win, that's the one we gave away. We had 12 giveaways. They had 8. And then takeaways, it was 3-2 in favor of the Devils. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. I don't agree with this. I do agree with all 3 players. But I'm going to give Andre Lee the 3rd star. The writers gave him the 2nd star because he got his first NHL goal. But I'm going to make him the 3rd star. They made Mikey Anderson the 3rd star, but Anderson had 2 assists. He should be the 2nd star. And the number 1 was no doubter. Darcy Kemper faced, 33 shots and gave up 0. So he was the number 1 star.
All right.
So
is that
that's my last one. You got 2 left.
2 left. All right. All right.
No sweat. You can do it.
I got this.
And by the way, if you didn't come up with it, I do have a trivia question.
I thought of an idea and I just never looked it up.
I did okay. While you were doing one of your games, and I've got one.
Okay, perfect. All right. So the Ducks now go to Winnipeg, play the number 1 team in the league right now, right? Are they? I can't remember. It's either them or the Wild, isn't it?
I think Winnipeg's ahead of them, but I'll look that up while you're doing this.
All right. So Ducks going to Winnipeg, and again, don't start very hot. 33 seconds in. That's right, you heard me. 33 seconds in. Mark Scheifele scores his 23rd of the year against the Ducks. I just want to know, Radko Gudas, what the hell are you doing? Like, you literally, honestly, Velarde did, honestly, I think Gudas deserved a assist on the Scheifele goal. Really. So, Winnipeg go up 1-0, 30 seconds in, and then Adam Laurie scores his 10th of the year to make it 2-0 Winnipeg. But 2 minutes later, right before the first period ends, Leo Carlsson gets his 8th of the year on a tip-in. Assist from Radko Gudas and Alex Killorn. So now it's 2-1 after 1. In the second period, Troy Terry gets his 12th of the season. Ryan Strome and Dumoulin both get the assist. Now we're tied 2-2. And then so now we're 2-2 going into third. Alex, and you ruined this game for me, by the way.
I'm sorry.
So I got off work late that day.
I didn't. I thought you'd have been home watching it.
No, I got off work late that day. So I got a late start on the game and I was watching it. And I want to say what, there was like 4 minutes left in the third period and it's 2-2. And then my dad's like, Ducks win. I'm like, no. Why? I stayed off of social media. I stayed off of everything. I was getting notifications, but I was like, nope, not looking at my phone. And then I made the mistake of having my Apple Watch on me, and then I felt like I got a text message, and I looked, and I just see Dad, Ducks win, and I'm like, and I literally took a picture. I'm like, there's still 3 minutes, like 3 minutes and 50 seconds. What do you mean? And then and I was like, because honestly, I'm kind of like mad, but kind of happy you told me that, because after I saw Alex Iafallo goal, I was like, oh no. And then I was like, oh wait, that's right. My dad told me they won. So, so Alex Iafallo got his sixth of the year to make it 3-2 Winnipeg. And then Radko Gudas gets his first of the season. I believe this was his first goal in 68 games, I believe they said.
Yes, that's
Somewhere
what they
around there.
said. That's what they said.
Yeah. So, and what a shot. And the Ducks had the extra man at that time. See, Mom, the extra man does work. Not all the time, but it does work. But what a great screen by Jacob Trouba in this. What, honestly, if they have the extra man, that's where Jacob Trouba should be, is in front of the goalie, because that he's a big guy. And especially against a goalie like Hellenbuck. I take it USA just scored. I just see my dad go, woo! Of course, you guys will see this on YouTube. But yeah, so the Ducks tie it up. We go into overtime, and 3.5 minutes into overtime, Troy Terry gets his 13th of the year, the overtime winner. He surprises Hellebuck and goes short side. And guess who got the assist, Dad? On the game winner. John Gibson got the assist on the Troy Terry overtime winner.
Good for John.
So the Ducks take down the best team in the league 4-3 in overtime. The Ducks did get outshot 30-24. God, and they got killed in the face-off percentage, 64-36. The Ducks didn't even have any power plays, so I can't really complain about the power play of that game. But the penalty kill was 2 for 2, so that's good. Or I should say, they did not give up any power play goals. Bueno. And the 3 stars of the game, Troy Terry. Actually, no, all right, this is what they put. I'm going to switch it up. Troy Terry was a 3rd star with 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points as the number 3 star. In my opinion, number 1. Radko Gudas had 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points. Number 2 star. Yep. Alex Iafallo, 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points. My number 3 star, I guess Iafallo. Yeah, he can be the 3 star. So just kind of like flip Terry and Iafallo, and we're good. So the Ducks take down the high-flying Jets. We deplane the Jets.
So your point,
I'm 2 for
point
4
percentage wise, Vegas is number 1. I think they only had a lot less games. They had 55 points. Winnipeg had 56, but they played 40 games. I think it was like 37
now. Okay.
games. And then Washington is also at 55 points, but they played 40 games. So Vegas really point percentage wise is number 1 in the NHL.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah, it goes Vegas, Washington, Winnipeg. Okay, we took down the 3rd best winning or points percentage team in the league. Yeah. All right, and then the game that happened last night. We almost had the comeback against Edmonton again. So Ryan Nugent Hopkins got a power play goal, his 9th of the season. Edmonton takes the lead 1-0. So it's 1-0 Edmonton after 1. In the second period, Darnell Nurse gets his 4th of the year on a snapshot assist from Skinner, and this name sounds very familiar. Corey Perry. Yeah,
Scory Perry.
Scory Perry. So the Ducks weren't looking too hot at this point. I'm not gonna lie, but things turn around after Brett Leeson got his fifth of the year unassisted breakaway to make it 2-1 Edmonton. And after that, it was all Ducks at that point. Until late in the third period, but we'll get to that. Jackson Lacombe gets his seventh of the year on the power play, assist from Strome and Carlson. Now we're tied 2-2 in the third period. And then Leon Draisaitl gets his 28th of the year. I believe leading 28th of the year.
Yes.
With assists from Hyman and Nurse, and the Ducks lose to Edmonton 3-2 after that late goal by Draisaitl. All I can say is the Ducks played very well this game, and honestly, I'm proud of the Ducks because it took the Oilers having to play with Draisaitl and McDavid on the same line for pretty much that whole third period to beat the Ducks. So if the Oilers have to go to Draisaitl and McDavid on the same line just to beat the Ducks, I believe that's a win in my opinion for the Ducks. You know, if they have to go that far just to beat the Ducks won that game in my opinion.
Agreed.
You know, because I mean, although the Ducks probably should have scored when that line was not on the ice, but still, when you have probably the top two players in the world on the same line just to beat one team, especially the team that everyone thinks is a bottom feeder, it's a win in my book. So, 3 stars of the game. Nurse was the third star with 1 goal and assist for 2 points. Lukas Dostal was the number 2 star. He played so well that game. And then, of course, Leon Draisaitl, the number 1 star with the game-winning goal. The stats, the Ducks outshot the Oilers 29-26. I don't really want to talk about the face-off percentage because that one was embarrassing. 60-40. And then the Ducks finally got a power play goal. Woohoo! But we also give up a power play goal. Boo. So, but at least now in the season series, the Ducks have won one and Edmonton has won one. So, can't be too mad about that. So,
true.
Oh, God. That was a lot of games to talk about.
It was. Now, do we want to go to Player of the Week?
Yeah. You go first.
Okay. So, there were 2 players that I thought were outstanding since the last time we spoke to you. And that would be Adrian Kempe with 2 goals and 3 assists, and Quentin Byfield with 3 goals, 2 assists. I'm going to give Kempe the runner-up, and Quentin Byfield is your King of the Week.
Okay.
What about you?
For me, you know, he's played very well. I liked his game. I mean, I could easily go Troy Terry. Mason McTavish has played a lot better.
Yeah.
Cutter's played. Fabry's played well. But I gotta go with the guy that scored 2 game-winning goals, and he's been there. I'm gonna go with Stromer. I'm gonna go with not Ryan Strome. I'm going with the worst salesman in NHL shop history, Brian Strome.
I think that was
just kidding.
That's a great pick, Cody. I think
Ryan Strome. I think he deserves it. He 2 game-winning goals in a row. He, like I said, he's played well. So I would say he's my player of the week.
So this last week I had 3 games. You had 7.
Yeah. Well, we had 3 back-to-backs, I want to say.
So after episode 43, our predictions, I am 22-10. Cody is 13-19. I got a 9-game lead on you, kid. Big way to come back.
there's still a lot of room to come back.
True,
So,
true. So we want to go to predictions real quick.
yep, predictions.
You first, me first.
I'll go first. So the Ducks play tomorrow. Of course, by the time you guys listen to this, it'll be yesterday. I'm gonna go against the Ducks play at home against Tampa. I'm gonna go with a 4-2 loss.
Okay.
4-2 loss. Oops. Calgary, I'm gonna go with a 4-2 win. And I'm really thinking outside the box on this score. And then I'm gonna go. Oh God, we're at St. Louis. I'm gonna go 4-1 loss because the Ducks never do well in St. Louis. So, yep.
Okay. So we're playing Tampa Bay tonight. I'm predicting a 4-2 victory for the Kings. And then on the 8th, God, we have a lot of breaks here. We don't play to the 8th. Against Calgary, I predict a 4-3 victory over Calgary because we owe them. And then on the 10th, we're in Winnipeg, and I'm predicting a 4-2 loss. I know I've been picking them to win a lot, but, it's harder on the road. So,
Yeah. All right. All right. And last bit of news before we head out of here, or I wouldn't say news. What's your New Year's resolution for the Kings, Dad?
to keep playing the way they've been playing in the last 2 weeks, to keep playing.
Yeah.
You take away the Washington game. Washington's just been tough.
Yeah.
So what about you?
So I believe in signs. All right. I found one right here for sale. The Ducks need a trade. And as much as I've loved him on this team, but he's holding up the pipeline. But Dumoulin needs to go. I don't know if Vetrano wants to stay, but I mean, we can always re-sign him because he's a free agent this offseason. We trade Vetrano. And if we can get anything from Fabry, then I say trade Fabry. I wouldn't mind keeping Fabry to the end of the year. And then we need to know what we're doing with Gibson.
Okay.
All right. Next sign. Help wanted. The Ducks are posting on what was it? Indeed and ZipRecruiter. We're looking for someone that could put the puck in the net. So any type of scoring winger would be great. And then I would say after this season we need a new direction in coaching. I think Cronin's done what he's needed to do, but to get the next step, I think it's time to move on and find a new coach that's going to take us to the next level. So I would say my really honestly, like I don't want the Ducks to be bottom feeders anymore. By this time or by the end of 2025, I want the Ducks to be competing for at minimum a wild card spot, at least within I would say 5 points of a wild card spot. And they need to not be the worst 5-on-5 team in the league.
True. Okay.
But I will. So I did listen to another podcast called The Empty Netters, and they even came up with New Year's resolutions for every team in the league. I'll tell you what the Kings one was.
Okay.
They're saying the New Year's resolution for the Kings was for Edmonton to go to the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Because it looks like for the 5th year in a row or whatever it is now, it looks like
4th year in a row.
It looks like the Kings are replaying the Oilers again.
Yeah. I'm not as afraid of them as I was.
Yeah. Honestly, it makes me wonder if the Kings should go for more of a wild card spot. But
go for it.
Like because if they stay in the second or third spot, they're probably going to play Edmonton. But if they are one of the wildcard teams, they're going to play either Vegas or Minnesota or Winnipeg. And honestly, I rather play Vegas. If I was the Kings, I would much rather play Vegas, Winnipeg, or Minnesota right now. So, and then for the Ducks, they said their New Year's resolution for the Ducks is to get whenever they're on offense, their goal is a soccer size goal, not a hockey goal, a soccer size goal. So, because the Ducks just can't seem to put anything in the net, but they definitely miss wide or a lot.
23 by 7, huh?
Yep.
Okay, you ready for trivia?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a hard one. I know you'll get at least one.
Okay.
I am looking at the top 10 NHL players all time with the most power play points. Top 10.
Okay.
So,
Well, Gretzky.
and Gretzky is what? Number one?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, yeah. He is number one with 890.
Jesus.
More 139 more than anybody. No, 129
Okay.
more than
Lemieux.
anybody. Lemieux is fifth at 701.
Ovechkin.
Hitchkin's not in the top 10.
All right. Crosby.
Crosby is not in the top 10. Funny, huh?
Okay. Yager.
Yager is number 10 at 610.
Solani.
Solani is not in the top 10.
Oh. So I'm missing 7.
You got what? Gretzky, Lemieux, and Yager. You're missing 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Gordie Howe.
Gordie Howe is not in the top 10. Played a lot of years. It was a different
That's what I
era.
was thinking.
Yeah.
Um, are any of them like currently playing right now?
No, they're all retired. There's one king in there, besides Gretzky.
Oh, how long was he a king?
2, 3 years, I think.
Yari Curry, was it Yari
No,
Curry?
Yari Curry is not in the top 10, but you're close.
He wasn't a king for long.
Yeah, but you're close with Curry.
I know the name. I just can't. Like I.
What position does he play?
Yes.
That's not what I asked.
Okay. Hmm.
Let me see. One.
He was a king for. Oh God. I know it. I just can't
He
think
he,
of the.
he played with Gretzky, not just there, but in Edmonton.
Oh.
He was on my Kings
I know.
all
I'm just
star
trying to
team.
remember.
His last name you like to drink every morning.
All coffee.
He is number 6. The
God, he
number
was a
2 guy
king.
is a defenseman. I'll give you that. The number 2 guy is a defenseman.
Defenseman.
Yeah.
When did this player retire?
A while ago.
How many teams did he play for?
I think 2. But he was famous in Boston. I'm going to give you hints to make it quicker.
Boston. Oh,
Boston.
why am I drawing? I'm just drawing a blank right now. I bet you people listening to this like it's this guy. I know
He's got
Adam's probably yelling at
his
me.
his, his first name is the same name as your uncle. Giving you hints here. Come on.
Well, I got
Which
multiple uncles.
on
Ray
there you go.
Ray Bork.
Ray Bork is number 2.
Okay, I guess like I was thinking Dennis. I was
So
like
so
Dennis.
so number 3 is the GM for the Kraken.
Ron Francis.
He's number 3. Number 4,
Oh,
I'm not sure you're gonna remember him. I'll just give it to you. Al McInnes is number 4. Lemieux is 5. Coffey's 6. Number 7 is a king, probably the greatest king besides Robitaille and Anze Kopitar, and he was on my team also.
greatest king.
Part of the Triple Crown line.
Oh, oh. I wish I could cuss right now. It's bugging me.
Not Taylor, not Simmer.
Steve Taylor, Zimmer.
Came from Detroit.
I hate my life. Just tell me.
Marcel Dion.
Marcel I'm
Number 8 is I think I think he's still the GM for the Avalanche.
no, he's not the GM. He's like the president of hockey operations. But you're talking about Sakic?
Yep. And
Yeah.
then 9, the place you live in is
House.
last name
House.
Phil
Esposito. No,
House.
I don't know. I'm tired. Just tell me.
Housley. Phil Housley.
Okay. I get it now, but I've been up since 5. I worked today, so I'm a little slow. Sorry, folks, for that. If you guys want to just cut that out, I don't blame you one bit.
So now you all know the top 10 power play point people in NHL history, at least to today's date.
And you know how bad. Now you know how bad I am at this game and predicting Ducks games right now.
Yeah. not a spoiler alert, but Czechia and United States World Juniors is tied 1-1 right now.
Oh, Czechia scored. Oh,
They did on a nice shot. So anyways,
all right. Oh, I think we're done, right? We're at an hour 45 now.
let's do it.
Thank you guys again. And Happy New Year to our Royally Quack fans. Again, don't forget to follow us on all our social media accounts: Blue Sky, X or Twitter, Facebook. We do have a Facebook group now, Royally Quack. So go ahead and give us a follow there. We're on TikTok, and don't forget, most importantly, to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. So now you can see our beautiful faces and us now see us laugh our ass off because I said boner on live recording.
You're gonna make us not G-rated anymore.
Yeah, but boner is spelled differently. It's yeah.
Never mind. Let's move on.
But please, guys, give us a like the video, subscribe to our YouTube. We'd really much appreciate it. Don't forget to give us a review and rating on Apple and give us a rating on Spotify. We would really appreciate it. And I know we're going to be doing a giveaway soon, but we're going to get into more of the details about that on the next episode. But on that, happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
And let's continue the Ducks on this playing better in the new year. Keep that going, because like I said, ever since the Philly game, they've played a lot better.
Yeah.
So
Kings have been playing great too. So
yeah, whatever. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next week on Royally Quack. Have a good one, and let's go Ducks, and
go Kings, go!
A father and son, a bond so strong, talking hockey all day long. Royally Quack, their podcast show, sharing stories, highs and lows. From the Kings to the Ducks they go, shouting go Kings, go! Quack, quack, they cheer. A father and son, their passion sincere on the ice. Their love appears through the highs and lows in the years. The legends of Gretzky, Solana's grace, passing on history in every case. Father teaching son, a legacy shared. On Royally Quack, their stories aired. Face off in life, together they stand. Shouting go Kings, go! Quack, quack, they cheer. A father and son, their passion sincere on the ice. Their love appears through the highs and lows and the years. Let go! The legends of Gretzky, Solana's grace, passing on history in every case. Father teaching son, a legacy shared. On Royally Quack, their stories aired. Face off in life, together they stand. Shouting go Ducks, go! Go Kings, go! A father and son, watching the show. Through wins and losses, their spirits grow. On Royally Quack, they steal the show.